Come on, committee. You know that wasn't the right ranking. 1 through 4 was good. It was good. But putting Ohio State at 5 and Alabama at 6, really? Yeah, that's right. I'm sticking up for my rivals on this one. And you're probably wondering why. It's because I know for a fact that Alabama would be a better challenge to Georgia than Ohio State would. When we compare wins and losses in this on this platform with the committee, it's a travesty. You know, when you compare a one-loss team from a cupcake conference, and it is a cupcake conference, to a two-loss team that had to run the gauntlet in the SEC, it just seems to be a little unfair to me. Alabama didn't have the luxury of playing a schedule that had the likes of Arkansas State, of having Rutgers, Iowa, Northwestern, Michigan State, Wisconsin. I could roll them off. Notre Dame's not that good. They were 8-4. That's not a quality win. They weren't a top 5 team. They were overrated from the start. Penn State, yeah, I'll give you. The only 2 losses are to Ohio State and Michigan. Decent team in a bad conference. But bring Ohio State down to Knoxville to play Tennessee at their peak and watch what happens. They lose by 30. If they lose at home to Michigan by 22, they're sure as hell losing to Tennessee by 30. But it's about which team has been exposed the most, and that is Ohio State. That's what you need to look at. Alabama has played every game tight. Oh, they almost lost to Texas A&M. Well, if you say that, then I'm going to tell you that they almost beat Tennessee and LSU. That's an offsetting argument. That's not a point you want to make. Yeah, they lost the games, but at the same time, they played every game and were competitive in every game and were never out of every game, like Ohio State was. Michigan just flat out trolled them, exposed them for the bad defense that they are. So let's say USC loses on Saturday, and you now bump Ohio State up to number 4. If Michigan's defense did that in the second half to Ohio State, what's Georgia's defense going to do to them? That game would be over by halftime. USC right now would be the better challenge for Georgia, but if USC falls to Utah, which is very possible, I would like to see Alabama, because Alabama has the offense to keep up with Georgia, to give their defense fits. And of course, Alabama's defense isn't as great, but then again, when you look at Ohio State, theirs is none better. Alabama is without a doubt, to me, the better team, because if you put Ohio State in the SEC to play those road games, Ohio State's losing 3 to 4 games in this conference. When you take away the Rutgers and the Northwesterns of the Big Ten, and you end up putting them in with the South Carolinas, the Tennessees, whenever they're healthy, and with with the LSUs, they're a decent team. They still have a chance on Saturday to beat Georgia. You can't rule them out. Ole Miss is underrated. And of course with Alabama. So it's like, yeah, you put them on a tough schedule like that. Yeah, some losses are going to be happening in Columbus at that point. So yeah, not buying the wins and losses because the schedules aren't even. You can't tell me Ohio State had a better strength of schedule, because they didn't. Alabama, I believe, played more. They played more ranked opponents than Ohio State did, and they still won 3 of those games. When Mississippi State was ranked, when Mississippi was ranked, and I forgot the other one, but you know, they played some pretty tough teams too. Tougher than what Ohio State's had to play outside of Michigan. But Ohio State runs into a real team, and you saw what happened to them. That is not a playoff team. And why would you waste a spot just for Michigan to run into them again and hand them another beatdown? That was their playoff right there, and they missed it, in my opinion. And I think the college football playoff missed it when they put them at number 5, still with a chance to get in. With a game like that, that's not even a top 10 team performance. So, it is what it is. So, Georgia will probably beat LSU. It's not a given, but I think they'll probably beat LSU. I'll have that game on live on Saturday. And if USC falls, then I guess Georgia's just going to have to beat up on Ohio State. I thought we were going to see Georgia, Alabama, but the committee sees otherwise. Sorry, Tide. I tried.